Welcome to episode 219 of the Parkrun Adventurers podcast. My name is Melissa Ellis, and I'm joined by the man with the mirrored sunglasses, Ollie Spake. Hi, Ollie.
Hi, Mel. How are you?
I'm really good. How was your parkrun weekend?
My parkrun weekend was very summery and, a lot of fun. Very community-feeling parkrun this weekend.
What happened at Shell Harbour? We're just going to assume that's where you were?
A safe assumption. At Shell Harbour this weekend, well, we had a fair contingent of visiting parkrunners, so I think the whole holiday in your backyard thing is really going strong. And we've heard in the last couple of pods that our event director, Brendan, had finished up. So we had the opportunity to just say a bit of thanks to Brendan at a parkrun morning in a bit of a Shell Harbour parkrun way. So we had a socially distanced gathering and presented Brendan with a special print from one of our special photographers at Shell Harbour Parkrun. It's becoming a bit of an emblem for the Shell Harbour Parkrun event team. Just to say thanks to Brendan. And cheer him on as he went off to actually enjoy a parkrun.
I saw that. I saw the video footage that was posted to social media. I shared that on our page for any listeners that might like to see the occasion and your good self giving a bit of a speech for Brendan and the beautiful photo that was presented to him of the view from Killalea. I always say it wrong. Is it Killalea or Killalea?
Well, I won't say I'm an expert. Locally, it's pronounced Killalea, but hey, the locals have been wrong before, so you can be the judge.
But it's a very iconic view anyway of that outlook.
Yeah, it's a good reminder to us all. If anyone is visiting Shell Harbour Parkrun, come early. Come and catch the sunrise. It's beautiful over by the steps that lead down to the farm beach. I might be biased, but it's one of the best views.
Absolutely. That was where we had our very first Parkrun Adventurer listener meetup, and such fond memories of that day and all the effort that Brendan put in not to harbour the point.
But what about your parkrun weekend, Mel? How was your parkrun day, first of all?
Yeah, fabulous. How can parkrun day not be fabulous? I had a road trip, went north with 3 of my friends to Lake Boga, and big surprise, beautiful, absolutely beautiful place. The lake was stunning. It was a very fast, flat course. There was PBs aplenty on the day, and a lot of history involved with the actual area. Military history, Ollie, so right up my alley.
Yes.
I was very pleased. There's a little military museum in the general vicinity of the start-finish line.
And the township it's a bit of a home to some of the military history, or is it more just something that's popped up as a museum, as a tribute?
Ollie, it's not a current military area. It was from 1942 to 1947. It was the home of a Royal Australian Air Force base for the flying boats. Have you ever heard of flying boats?
Yes.
Because I had not. But for anybody who might be an air enthusiast, and I know we do have several parkrun adventurers who enjoy that aspect of
that way inclined.
Yeah, exactly. So after the Japanese attacked Darwin in 1942, their military looked for a safe place for their flying boats. And this area was identified. One of the military members was from that Kerrang area, so he knew Lake Boga was a good place for such a thing because it had no obstructions and it had an unlimited choice of landing and takeoff direction. So anyway, it was identified as a really good place. So it became the home, and they used it to do repairs and such, and not just for Australian aircraft but for overseas. So for the Americans as well, they used it as a base. So and now there's a museum there, and it's got what's the name of Catalina, I think it's called, is the type of aircraft. There's one on display there in the museum. So, it's quite significant.
One for the tourism list.
Exactly. And I just love running near water. So it doesn't matter if it's a river or a lake or the ocean. If it's a park run that's near water, I'm happy. And this park run just circled it didn't circle because I think it's about maybe around 14 kilometres around the lake, but obviously we just go out and back. But yeah, it hugs the shoreline and it's flat, so it's perfect for anybody that wants to do a fast time. And it was a warm morning.
It certainly was in many places. I know you said it was beautiful there. I saw some of the pictures. It is stunning and much bigger lake than I would have expected.
Yeah, and I really had no idea of Lake Boga prior to going there, and that's what I love about parkrun tourism. There will be some little parkrun created in some place and you go, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go there, and absolutely no expectation, and then turn up and like completely floored. Absolutely beautiful. Learn all this about the local area, contribute to the local economy while you're staying, obviously, for the weekend. It's quite close to Swan Hill, which is probably more well-known tourist destination, especially at the moment. We're still in school holidays. It's a warmer part of Victoria, if you like, so it was full of tourists this time of year. And you know what? They've got a giant cod, Ollie, a giant Murray cod in Swan Hill.
Add to the giant collection. So you are talking about a statue rather than an actual giant cod?
Yeah, it sounds a bit odd when you say it like that, isn't it? A great big statue of a great big fish, which I didn't know existed either.
I hope you're journaling all of these giant features as you're travelling.
I think we need a parkrun club for all these giant things, because I've got a feeling that Mark was quite close to a big banana this week.
Yes, and we do have plans for said big pineapple as well.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just wonder how many parkruns are close to giant things.
Maybe the informant can help.
Homework for the informant.
Or we'll have to just work it out ourselves, of course. I've seen the informant in an alley. I'm not going to be issuing any instructions. I'm not that brave.
Oh, let's give him a challenge. You know, you got to level up. Can't just make it easy for him.
Yeah, true. No, well done. And so where does that put you with respect to Victorian events, Mel?
Oh, 87 out of 87, Ollie.
Ha! We're back.
I've caught up. Yay.
Good feeling?
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit arbitrary, isn't it? But when you've done them all, it's always a little bit sad, because until there's another event created, you've got no challenge. So I look forward to more Victorian parkruns being created that I can visit. But at the moment, I am one of the few that has been fortunate enough to visit them all. And I can happily recall every single course in my head, which I'm very proud to say.
And then Sunday, was it another great day at Juniors?
It was, yeah. And those little kids, they're so cute, so cute. One of my run directors, her little daughter, ran up to me after the event, because I was obviously standing near the finish line, and she ran up and she said, Mel, I got number 11. She was so excited. Last week I was 19.
Oh, what a step change too. That's lovely.
It was, yeah. They're just so excited about it. It's really cute. And during the run brief, I asked the kids, was there any questions? And I had one little girl put her hand up, and I was in my mind, oh, okay, I've got a question. That's unusual. Okay, let's go with that.
Yes.
And I said, yes, what's your question? She says, I had my hair cut yesterday. Bless her. They're so cute, kids. You just never know what they're going to come out with.
That's very true. Like some of the strategies you talked about in last week's pod, I'm really intrigued to hear if there were any new strategies at play around some of the kids and how they thought they'd tackle the course.
Yeah, no, I didn't get any more feedback with that.
Okay.
But everything went smoothly, and that's all that we could hope for. And we had happy little faces, and we look forward to next week. Yes.
Well done. Great to hear. It was another very positive week. And look, it's been lovely to see a lot of the fantastic parkrun days and junior parkrun days over the weekend. They're certainly building in numbers. Been lovely also to receive a couple of roving reports, or a few roving reports, actually.
Yes. Marvellous Mark sent us a roving report from Coffs Harbour, where I did see a photo of him next to a big banana.
And I believe we also have a roving report from Lake Boga, which might contain a very familiar voice. And we've heard from another familiar voice. So thank you to Alison, who has been at Owairaka. I hope I've got that right. So let's find out and let's have a listen.
Hello, Parkrun adventurers. This is Mark reporting in for the Channel 5 news crew from Coffs Harbour Parkrun. Coffs Harbour is on the north coast of New South Wales and is well known for its big banana. As I said, I'm at the Coffs Harbour Parkrun, where today is event number 144. On average, they have about 99 park runners each week, and obviously peak around the Christmas and New Year's time with a lot of visitors to the area. And they have an average finish time of 31 minutes and 11 seconds. So last year, when we did our travels around Australia, I did actually do a freedom run here, and it's good to be back today to get my barcode scanned here. So let's have a chat to a few other park runners. I'm here with Laurie and Therese. Good morning, how are we?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah, we're doing well.
Very well. We're on holidays and lovely to be here.
So where is home?
Home is Casino, up the road from Coffs Harbour, where we are today.
And what brought you to Coffs Harbour today?
We're on holidays, so we tried to do a few around the district here while we're away from Casino. But our park run is called Queen Elizabeth Park Run. And of course, being a queue, we get a lot of people coming from Queensland around the place coming to our park run, so it's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine in Canberra we have Queanbeyan, and it's a popular one for the queue as well. So you're big on the park run challenge as well then?
Yes, well, I've got my 50 shirt on and Laurie's got his 100 shirt on, and we just really love it. You know, it's a great community get-together event.
And have you been to Coffs Harbour before?
Not this park run, no.
And what would be your top three, Laurie, of park run events?
Well, I think I'd have to say Queen Elizabeth Park Run, because that's my my home one. I've been to a couple in Queensland, like South Bank, where there was, I think, 650 or something odd people run, which was quite interesting. My time wasn't that good because I was at the back of the pack, but other than that, it was great. Another one I went to, it was, I can't think of the name of it now, but it was an old army training ground. And that was really interesting because I thought with the risk assessments we have to do, it was great risk. But anyway, it was fun.
And what about yourself, Therese?
Well, yes, of course, Queen Elizabeth is good at Casino, and my husband and I went travelling in a caravan, and I did Charleville. I think it was Charleville, and it was only their third run. And I got a really good time, but I think I might have missed a turn. And then last week we did Owairaka, which was lovely.
Yeah, we had a look at the parkrun map, and we don't have a U as yet. And there was a bit of consternation around whether we should travel a little bit further down the road to get our U. But we might have to put that on another list. So, how else are you going for your other alphabet and other parkrun challenges?
Oh, I'm not particularly going for the challenge. I'm just keeping on going, and got a few back problems, so I mainly have to walk now. But yeah. I still love it.
What's the beauty about parkrun, isn't it? You can run, jog, or walk, and you're still part of the community.
Yes, that's right. No, it's wonderful.
And what about your parkrun story? How did it all start?
18 or 19 parkrun, different parkruns. Yeah. 115. My main emphasis has been on volunteering. I really love the volunteering side of it. I think 48 or 49 volunteers, and it's great being a volunteer. It's fun. That's the fun part of it, in my opinion, being a volunteer.
What's your favourite volunteer role?
Oh, I like being the boss. I think it doesn't matter. It's just I like cheering people on and having a good time, so it doesn't matter what the role is as long as you get the fun out of it, yeah.
Very good. All right, well, thank you much for your time, and enjoy your run this morning.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Mark.
I'm here with Trent, who is a regular here at Coffs Harbour Parkrun. Good morning, Trent. How are you?
How are you going? Very good to meet you.
I'm good, thank you. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day here at Coffs Harbour. How long have you been coming to Coffs Harbour Parkrun?
So it started about 2 years ago. I've done 87 here out of the 120 I think they've done here. So not a bad chunk of them, which is good to see, just to keep fit. I was about 110 kilos-ish when before I started parkrun, and now sitting at a 75-ish on average. So it was one of those try and get doing something activities and stuff, and then I met a whole lot of people here, so it's been a bit more of a little family thing here now. So there's a group of probably 20 of us that sort of started around the start, and you still see them all the time, which is great.
That's a significant weight loss. Over what kind of time frame was that?
That was around 13, 14 months, so not rapid weight loss, just changing diet, lots of water, and just activity, so a lot more walking and running. So I'll probably walk 2/3 of the park runs I do these days. Plantar fasciitis is one reason for it. But managing that, and as I said, 5K is not a big toll on it, so just something to get out and get going.
I imagine that the weight loss would have been driven to keep up with the two lovely daughters you have.
Yes, so I hit my peak when my oldest was about 4 or 5, and we started going places, and then photos of me and the family, I started to look at it and go, wow, that's not what I feel like, so I will have to fix that up. And then I had a little bit of heart, blood pressure stuff, so I said I'll take the easy way out and just lose weight first rather than taking the medication.
That's a good plan. And so parkrun's obviously been a big part of that journey and the community here.
Yeah, it's just the fact that it's always there for you, I think, is the one benefit. And there's no real pressure to overexert yourself. It's all about what you do to yourself, and if you want to go for ridiculous times, you can. Otherwise, you just walk around the other people. And I do a lot of tail walking as well, which means I can cheer on all the rest and stuff, so I try and make myself a bit known in the little group, which is really cool.
And do you get around to other parkruns in the area?
I have only ever done one other, which was Brisbane's South Bank one. I was up there for a trip and stuff and joined that one. That was about 600 people, so a bit different to this one, which is about 140, 130. Didn't know where I started from, and that was an amazing one because it goes through the gardens over there, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, I've done a freedom run through there. Well, my freedom runs are kind of interpretive because, trying to understand the maps and the destructions and things like that go along with them. But yeah, I really thought the gardens was quite nice. I was quite intrigued as to how busy that area would actually be, particularly going over the bridge. How did you find that?
I've never been in a start like that. It was kind of like running a marathon where everyone's running at snail's pace until they sorted out all the speeds. And there's all bollards, which you're not ready for as well. And then the whole understanding of bikes in cities, which take up the other half of the lines as well, which you're never ready for. So the bike up, bike back. Yeah. I never experienced. So it was very different, but it was fun. It was fun.
Cool. All right, well, thank you very much for your time and enjoy your parkrun today.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. See ya.
So I'm here with today's Run Director, Keelan. Good morning, Keelan. How are you?
Yeah, well, thanks. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you. It's a beautiful day here at Coffs Harbour. Well done on the weather.
Yeah, it's really nice. Perfect day for it.
It looks like we've got some pretty high numbers, well over 100 today, which I suppose is typical for this time of year.
Yeah, it is. Last week we had our second largest attendance, about 180, and I think this time last year we just got over 200 for the first time. So it's building well, yeah.
It's good to see the tourists coming to Coffs Harbour and helping the economy out here. How long have you been involved in the Coffs Harbour Parkrun?
Coffs Harbour Parkrun I've been doing for about, this time last year I was, and then obviously we had a break over COVID, so there's not much going on. But yeah, I just thought I'd get involved, and before I know it, I'm run director and I'm helping run the show.
Where were you before Coffs Harbour?
So I was in Sydney at Macquarie Uni, and I was just doing some parkruns there, but I wasn't really part of a parkrun community, so when I came back I thought I'd get involved.
Excellent, well done. Can you describe the Coffs Harbour Parkrun course to us? I actually came and attempted a freedom run here last year, going off somebody's Strava map and the course directions. I don't think I got it quite right, particularly this section around the finish and start line. Can you just give us a bit of a description of the course?
Yeah, sure. So the course starts at an open reserve next to the Coffs Creek, and it does a loop around the park before connecting onto a concrete path that takes you over Coffs Creek and then out through sort of a path that goes through some bush and littoral rainforest out to Northwall Car Park, and then it returns back the same way, does a loop around the park, and then runners go out for a second lap. So it's a 2-lap course. And
it's right next to the beach as well, and I can see some runners already cooling down in the water, which is quite tempting, to be honest. It is a bit of a warm day for us Canberrans. There's some finishes coming across the line. Now, you mentioned during the run briefing that there's talk of a new course. What's happening there?
Yeah, so this has been a year-long process in trying to get a course extension basically out to Muttonbird Island, which is an iconic point in Coffs Harbour. Runners will go along the northern breakwall there out to Muttonbird Island and then back to what they call Siberia. And so it would effectively turn it into a 1-lap course with views of both the jetty and the mountains hinterland as you're running back.
Yeah, wow. So you're kind of just ticking off some of the main icons in Coffs Harbour, obviously not the Big Banana, but certainly some other big icons there, which is good.
Yeah, definitely. We feel that this course would showcase the best you could possibly showcase in the Coffs Harbour area, and we're really close to getting it up and running, which is exciting.
Looks like I'm going to have to come back sometime soon to run the new course.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we're expecting a bumper attendance for our first attempt of this course, so yeah, stay tuned.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for your time.
No worries, thank you.
All right, well, that's us done here at Coffs Harbour Parkrun. A wonderful parkrun day here. Lots of fun, nice and warm. We're off to go find some breakfast and coffee. See you next time on the Parkrun Adventurers.
Good morning, Parkrun Adventurers. It's Melissa here, and I'm coming to you from Victoria's brand new parkrun course at Lake Boga. And I've got the event director with me, Melissa, and today's RD, Tony. Hi, girls. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Now, it's week 2 today.
Yep.
What were your numbers?
We had exactly 100 today, which is a great turnout.
Excellent. It's a beautiful morning down here. The sun was out.
Yes, we're going to have a really hot day. It's going to be 43 degrees, so it was great to get out early and see so many people enjoying the lovely weather.
There was a mix of tourists and locals?
Yes, we had people from Melbourne, Geelong, Hamilton, all over the place today.
Can you describe the course for us?
Yes, so the course is 5 kilometres, obviously, and it's part concrete and bitumen, and it runs around the lake 2.6 kilometres and then back 2.4 to our finish line.
There's a bit of history involved in this lake, I believe. A bit of military history?
Yeah, so right near the course we have the Catalina Flying Boat Museum. And we have a cafe right next door as well. So you can be a tourist once you've finished and have a look through there.
And Tony, you were the run director today. Have you been involved with parkrun before being involved with Lake Boga?
No, with Lake Boga Parkrun. So I haven't been involved in parkrun much, but probably the motivation for it for me is I'm a runner, but I want to give back to running and others, so I wanted to be part of the volunteer side of it.
That's great. And are you friends? Is that how you knew about it?
We know each other, but probably haven't been social before together, so it's a great way to make new friends.
That's what parkrun's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And what about yourself, Melissa? Have you been involved with parkrun before?
So no, I actually haven't competed in a parkrun or completed one before. I got roped into helping by Cameron Smiths, whose idea it was to get everything up and going, and it's just been a whirlwind since then.
Yeah.
Did you have much trouble getting the funding and getting the course, finding the route?
We were actually really lucky. So Tony here actually had our course approved for us about 12 months beforehand, and things just didn't quite work out. So we picked it back up using the same course that Tony had chosen, and no issue with funding. The local community was really supportive.
Oh, that's excellent.
It's been so good to see so many people in this community, come out that, I've never seen running before or anything. It's really good.
We'll pick up the usage around the lake, do you think? That
definitely.
People will
it's good for the cafe too.
Yes, you've got a cafe right on course. I should mention that. There's toilets. There's plenty of toilets on your course. Yeah. And you've got the lovely, is it Boo?
Yeah.
Boo's Place Lakeside.
Yeah.
You can jump straight in the lake after you've finished.
We were wondering, are you allowed to swim?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. We've last week we actually had some participants jump in the lake for a cool down afterwards.
Yeah. Nice.
Lovely caravan park just down the road.
Yeah, for the tourists.
Yeah.
There's camping quite close by. We stayed in Swan Hill, so
you got it all.
Actually, at the moment, it was a little bit hard last minute to get accommodation up this way.
Oh,
so
really?
it's a good tourist destination as well.
Yeah.
Being that it's still school holidays.
It's a good course for a PB because it's flat.
It is indeed. Yeah. I think there was a few this morning.
Yes, we did get a pretty good few good times.
All right. Well, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for talking to me, ladies.
Thanks for
and
coming
good luck
out.
with the future of Lake Boga foreshore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there, it's Alison King here, reporting in for Parkrun Adventurers from Owairaka Parkrun in Auckland, New Zealand. I usually live in Rotorua and run at Puarenga Parkrun, which is where I'm also co-ED, but I've come up to Owairaka Parkrun to get a cheeky Wilson Index number. So I'm just going to have a chat with a couple of other people who've come up here today and see what they thought of the course. I'm here with Andrew Capel, who is in Auckland, or he lives in Auckland, and we're here at Owairaka Parkrun. I don't think it's Andrew's local, so Andrew, where's your home parkrun and what brought you here today?
Well, my home parkrun officially is actually in the UK, but my home parkrun in Auckland, so I've been living in Auckland for 15 years and now running at Cornwall Park.
And what's brought you to Owairaka today?
I'm trying to complete my Wilson Index, so this I think is number 14, or I'm hoping is number 14. I've got a few gaps early on, and then I've got a nice run of numbers.
What do you like about the Owairaka course? I know you've been here before. You were here at the inaugural, if I remember rightly.
I was here at the inaugural. Yeah, I've been here a couple of times since. It's a really nice course. It's mostly flat, goes over a stunning bridge. It's a little bit of a climb, but it's really nice. Out and back, good surface to run on. So yeah, I quite like it here. It's good. Some very fast runners as well. So
you had a good run today?
I did. Yeah, went pretty well. Yeah, enjoyed it. It's nice morning for it.
It's not too hot, is it?
No. It's we were just. I think we just timed it right. The sun had just kind of few clouds over just as we were running, so it's actually kept it down a bit.
And you're one of the few in New Zealand to be a countryman with all 32 events.
Yes, that kind of all happened by accident to start with, but then you get to a certain number once you've been touring around, and then you think, well, I've really got to finish it. You know, being in New Zealand, our events are so far apart, it actually takes quite a lot of planning. So yeah, I've managed to finish that on Christmas Day at Flaxmere over in Hastings.
And what a great Christmas present.
I know.
Well, thanks for your time, Andrew.
Thanks very much.
So here we have Nigel, Milius and Wendy here, who are two of the few other New Zealand countrymen here today at Owairaka. Nigel, what did you think of the course?
Beautifully marked. Very hard to get lost on it, I thought, today. Yeah.
And you, Wendy?
I love this course, and hopefully I did a PB today.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
Easy, really friendly people, and just lots of space.
Now, you two, I call you nomadic park runners, because even though you have to specify a home park run, you don't really have a home, do you?
No, well, I consider us people of no fixed park run, actually, because we have 5 or 6 park runs, all about 3 hours drive from home.
3 hours, that's quite a commitment.
Each way.
Yeah.
Also, we're rarely at home, so in normal life we're travelling quite often abroad, but at the moment obviously in New Zealand, which is a great opportunity to get round the New Zealand park runs for a first, second or third time.
Yeah. And where are you going to be going to next?
Next week we're going to Hagley Park, Christchurch. We've got friends down there, so catch up with them. We've got this penguin art exhibition thing on, which we're very keen to see, and also I'm wanting to write a report for that one because I haven't written a report there yet.
Cool. Any final words from you, Wendy?
And he wants to go to the cricket down there. That's the other draw card.
Cool. Thanks very much.
And lovely to hear from our roving reports. Mark, coming to us from Coffs Harbour Parkrun, he's having quite an adventure, Ollie, on his summer holidays.
Yeah, thanks, Mark, for taking us up the East Coast. It's lovely to hear again, and great to hear from, obviously, some fellow adventurers out there travelling around. It was interesting to hear. I think there's a trend here. Has there been a top 3 that he's interviewed that hasn't had their own parkrun in that 3?
Everybody loves their own parkrun. Everybody rates their own parkrun as number 1, don't they?
That's kind of fitting. That's that connection. That's understandable. But good to hear more of those local holidayers and some other fantastic highlights in the people that Mark spoke with, and speaking to Trent and the journey that he's been on. How fantastic.
I know. He's lost an amazing amount of weight.
Yeah.
Such a benefit, such a positive benefit that parkrun has on so many people.
Yeah, that's just brilliant, Trent. Lovely to hear he's sharing that time with the family and making the most of it.
And the RD, Keelan, who was telling us all about the proposed new course for Coffs Harbour. That sounds pretty exciting.
It sounds fantastic. The Coffs Harbour sampler, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait. It's certainly got me reassessing any potential North Coast stops. That's a very good marketing campaign, Keelan. Thank you very much. And well done on stepping up. Certainly got a strong impression that Keelan's jumped in feet first into that event team, and it's lovely to hear such enthusiasm, someone taking on a role like that and bringing parkrun to the community.
Yeah, he definitely sounds enthusiastic and like he's really relishing the new role.
And second, we heard from you, Mel, at Lake Boga.
Oh, we did. And it was lovely to meet ED Melissa and RD Tony on the morning. But both of them have started a parkrun and they've never actually ran a parkrun. That's a huge thing to do.
It's dedication to the cause of getting the parkrun up and going, and obviously they felt that they were onto something right, Yeah, big kudos to them.
Yeah, they're both very passionate, lovely ladies. And I tell you what, there was a few records that fell this weekend, Ollie, but I was very blessed to be at the finish line when one of my fellow Victorian parkrun tourists came in over a minute on top of her PB. So wiping a minute off her standing PB was Sue Arnott. And just to see the excitement of her husband, who was standing behind me when he looked at his watch and saw her coming in and realised she was taking a massive amount off her PB, and to have a beautiful photo, because that lake, it's very picturesque. I tell you what, Lake Boga, they must have one of the prettiest positions for finish photos. If anybody saw the photos that I posted on social media, just fabulous. The event photographer has no problems at all at that parkrun, I can tell you. So I was just standing there in awe, capturing Sue with her arms raised as she came over the finish line. And it was just beautiful. It was, just one of those moments. Very blessed to be there and to have experienced seeing her do that. Congratulations again, Sue.
What a massive achievement. Well done.
And we heard from Alison, Ollie. She sent us in a roving report. Thank you, Alison. I will let you announce the name of the place where Alison was.
Yeah, look, I'll be the butcher for now. Fantastic to hear from Alison again, coming to us from Owairaka Parkrun. Sorry, everyone in Owairaka Parkrun, if I am butchering that, but great to hear from more of the New Zealand connection and to hear from some of the countrymen out there.
Yes, they seem to have a nice little group of countrymen going around enjoying their park runs, but I'm still waiting for that snazzy terminology. I think, Alison, maybe you need to be polling the people as you go around and get some suggestions. We want to hear some suggestions for for that terminology.
We can build up a bit of a sample and we can collate those results.
We could do a quiz.
Yes. So look, we'll talk, Alison. We'd love to hear more and love to hear some of the suggestions coming from the field.
Yeah, get some suggestions for us and we'll do a poll and we'll get the public, all our listeners, all 5 of them, they can vote. We'll probably 2 votes will win.
That'd be nice. Let's coin some terms.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some alliterations that we can come up with. Let's get all our listeners onto it.
All right. So we're opening this up beyond just the New Zealanders?
Yeah, why not?
Excellent. And specifically, we are seeking snazzy terms for the islanders, as in the North Island and South Island version of the statesman, Mel, or are we after a countryman equivalent?
Oh, that's too many questions. Let's just see what everybody comes up with, either or. But how many have they got over both the islands, Ollie? How many events? Because I'm feeling a bit upset. I've got 87 just in Victoria. I think I need to be countryman.
Yep. Well, I think numerically you've got a strong argument. The number was 32. I'll stand corrected. There's another opportunity for my butchering to be corrected if I have messed that up. But you've certainly done a fair number compared to the New Zealand total, Mel.
I have, haven't I? Oh, I'm feeling a little bit proud now. Yeah, so let's not split them up, North and South Island. I think we need to keep them together, and if they want to have a title, they need to have done all of them in their whole country.
All right, that sounds like a plan. We'd love to hear.
But there were some other records that fell this weekend.
Yes, and what a record.
It was Lauren Reid at Parramatta, and wow, that caused some excitement around the country, didn't it?
Yeah, look, I think the waves are still rolling through, those shock waves. Yeah, I know that Parramatta Parkrun is a fairly flat and fast course. I think there's a tiny bit of what you'd call undulation, and at the finish line too, for that matter. What a run.
Have you been there, Ollie? Have you done Parramatta?
I have done Parramatta.
You have? Oh my God, I am shocked. Must have been in your younger days, was it? In your touring days?
Back in my heyday, back on the road, back in the days of the double longest run. I did a longest run visit to Parramatta as well. So, beautiful location alongside the river. And I think it really lends itself to those that want to push themselves, obviously, from this evidence. A great community as well.
What's the name of the river? Is it the Parramatta River?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And clearly Lauren has been gunning for this one. So congratulations, Lauren.
Yes. So she also holds the course record at Curl Curl. I looked her up. She's a Curl Curl runner. And the course record there, 16 minutes 17.
And this new record at Parramatta, so that's 15:45. taking off the parkrun women's global record and, of course, the Australian women's record as well. So what an achievement. Fresh in the new year too.
That would have been exciting for all those people at Parramatta on the weekend. I saw there was 302 runners, so it would have been nice to have been one of those and to have witnessed that going on. I'm sure that they must have announced that on the morning.
And after Lauren's fantastic new world record, we had the fortune to be able to catch up with Lauren. So let's have a listen. Our special guest this week is Lauren Reid, who this last parkrun day at Parramatta Parkrun in Sydney became the new world record holder for the fastest female parkrunner worldwide in an amazing 15 minutes and 45 seconds. So welcome, Lauren, and congratulations on your parkrun world record. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for joining us. And it's been wonderful already to see so much parkrun love for your fantastic effort. Firstly, I suppose there's a bit
really cool.
Yeah, and I think people across the globe have embraced you. You know, parkrunners in Australia and certainly a fair few from back over in Scotland and the UK, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's actually really, really special. The parkrun kind of communication I've had, like particularly there's a parkrun in my hometown in Scotland, and I did that parkrun the last time that I was there when my daughter was just really little, and they remembered that I'd been there and that I'd done it, and they reached out to me recently, congratulated me, and were super excited for me, and I just thought that was so lovely because I'd only been and done that run once, but they remembered me, and I thought that was really cool. So, yeah, a few of the different parkrun race directors have reached out to say well done, and I love that. Yeah, it's really special.
Well, it's great support, and you obviously had quite a bit of support from Parramatta Parkrun. But I suppose in the first instance, why Parramatta? Why the choice of Parramatta for the record attempt?
Well, it was a bit of a kind of like a vague last-minute type of idea that was thrown out by some of the guys that I run with. We were going to do a parkrun and have a coffee as a bit of a farewell because my husband and my little daughter Ruby and I are leaving Sydney.
Yes.
So in true runner style, we thought we'd farewell with a parkrun and coffee. And then, one of the guys had kind of said, oh, you should have a shot at that record. And so then began the debate on which is the best course in Sydney. And basically no one really knew. We couldn't quite decide. But we knew that parkrun was quite a decent course in terms of the turnaround point, and it's not too winding or anything like that. It's got a couple of little hills on the way back, but nothing significant. So I left the people in my running group to debate and decide. And so Parramatta was, I think, the happy medium in terms of location for everyone, and also quite a lot of people had done it, had run quite good times on it. So I chose that one, or Greenway or Road. Came down to those three. Yeah. I quite like the 8 o'clock start as well, to be honest, because the one next to me starts at 7, and I thought, oh, it's a bit of a sleep-in. Right. But little did I know it was going to be like super hot that morning, so actually maybe the earlier one would have been better, but never mind.
Well, it really was, and clearly, heat must have played a factor. Did you feel that as you were running?
I felt it on the back part, like the on the way back, which, you've got that combination of just being tired because it's the second half, and then those couple of hills, and then also, the heat. And I kind of felt fine for most of the run, and then I just really suddenly didn't feel fine. I didn't realise, I'm quite close to being completely gassed here. Oops. But I managed to hold on, so that was okay. And then it wasn't really until I stopped that it was like, oh my God, this sun is absolutely burning hot. There wasn't any shade, so it was really warm afterwards. There was a lot of sweaty high fives and catch ups.
I bet. And there is a slight uphill right at the end there too, isn't there? So you must have felt
that. Oh, it's a sting, yeah. It does sting your legs. It doesn't any other time. It's not big enough to even, be that that much of a problem. But definitely when you're running fast and you're hot, I felt it.
Yeah. And we did notice, interestingly, you broke the record that was set on the very same weekend 2 years before, the female record at Parramatta there. So there must be something about the heat in Parramatta Parkrun.
No way! I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, on
there you go.
The 26th of January back in 2019. So, there's something there. So, clearly heat running must favour you. So well done, I believe, on backing up a couple of days later. You got first at the Invitational on Australia Day.
Oh, yeah. I was really surprised, actually, that I felt okay, because I didn't think that I would. I actually had quite sore legs still that day. Not really sore, but, I don't often pull up sore from races or runs, but I actually did pull up just a little bit, not injury sore, just fatigue sore in my quads. So I was desperately trying to fix them before the Invitational, spraying magnesium on them and having baths and all sorts of things. But they were actually okay, felt fine. I just didn't push myself because my coach told me not to do that, because it would kind of probably affect training for the rest of the week. So I tried to sit quite comfortably, and I actually felt surprisingly okay. But again, it wasn't really until I finished I was like, oh my God, it's so hot. It was even hotter on Australia Day than it had been on the Saturday. So we've had some pretty high temperatures.
Oh, really well done in those conditions. Now, the Parramatta Parkrun effort was certainly a team effort. You had some paces out there and you had a lot of support there. So who paced you on the morning?
So I had Harry Summers pace me, which was amazing, and I didn't know that. I didn't know until a couple of days before that one of the guys had organised that for me, which was like, I was felt quite honoured to have him lining up next to me, because he's obviously a very talented athlete. So he paced me the whole way. He was definitely yelling at me on the second half because I slowed down a little bit, but he did a really good job. And I honestly do, I know that running is obviously an individual thing, but it's on occasions like that, it feels so far from individual. It's definitely a team effort. Absolutely.
Yeah, really a great community there. Now, you run usually with, is it the Delta Running Project?
Yeah, so I run with the Delta Running Project, and there's also another group called the Manly Hurt crew, and so I run with both of those groups. They're kind of intertwined a bit, and they're just like my extended family. They're amazing. So I'm spoiled. I'm very, very spoiled here in Sydney to have so many amazing people to run with, and have chats with, and solve all our problems together on a long run and support one another, whether it's a park run or a marathon or a track race. Like, we've all been there for one another over so many different races and runs and times throughout our lives. So I'm going to really miss them when I move to Orange. I think that's what I'm going to miss the most.
Yeah,
and I've decided that I'll come back every 4 weeks so I can have a long run with them.
Do you have plans to continue, I suppose, that running aspect, or even coaching or otherwise when you move?
Yeah, so I want to keep training at. So at the moment, I'm training towards the Nationals, which are in April, and they will double up as the Australian Olympic trials. So that's my goal at the moment. I'll try to run as close to the qualifying time as I can over the 800 and the 1500. So it's going to be a little bit different in Orange because there's no track, and obviously my coach won't be there, but we're going to try and make that work through, I guess, this distance programs, and when I need to, I'll come back to Sydney for sessions and training and races wherever they are, whenever they are, and we're hoping to make it work. But it will be logistically a little bit more challenging, but I think that if you want something bad enough, you'll just make it work. So I think there'll be some really good pros that come out of running in Orange. I think it's slightly above sea level, and all the training will be on grass instead of the track, which I think I think, one, it's really nice for your legs to have that, but two, you feel the difference when you do get on a track a bit more.
Yes.
You feel a bit quicker. So, yeah, I'm confident that I'll manage it okay, and I'm looking forward to meeting some running buddies out in Orange. So, yeah, looking forward to getting settled into life there.
No, I'm sure you'll settle in quickly, and that'll be part of a fantastic journey that you've already been on so far, clearly. And look, you've got a massive range in terms of different distances as well. Do you have a preferred range or a preferred distance? Is it the 800, 1600, or now the 5K?
Well, just really like running, to be honest. Yep. I came into running quite late. I didn't do anything vaguely competitive until only a few years ago, and then kind of quickly got stuck into that. And I'm still, I suppose, figuring out what the sweet spot is. I think that it's probably 800 or 1500 at the moment. But I also think that as I age, because I'm 35, I'll be 36 this year, I think that just naturally that kind of top end speed will start to follow again. I might be able to focus a bit more on the 5,000 and the 10,000, maybe even the half marathon. I've got no desire to go as far as marathon. No. But for now, I think while I'm still getting a bit quicker over that shorter stuff, I'll focus on that. But I like it all. I prefer anything over 3,000 metres. I just prefer it on the road as opposed to the track. But yeah, just happy to see what comes my way and just enjoy the process of, I guess I'm in training years, I'm quite young. Maybe not biological years, but training years, I'm quite young. So I'm still learning lots.
Spring chicken,
So that's really cool because I can still see some improvements and get excited about learning how to train a bit better, because I think initially I was just like, I'll just run heats and really hard all the time. So it's a learning curve to find what really works, and got really good people around me to help me with that.
Yeah, and so somehow you've found parkrun along the way there in that journey, and I suppose for now Curl's been your home parkrun. Is that right? Yeah, so
Curl's, like, I can walk to the start from my apartment. Mm-hmm. It's really close to where I am, and I just think parkrun's great. Like, it's a weekly opportunity to kind of test where you're at and be around your friends. And I also do a little bit of coaching work. I've got like a few clients that I coach for running, and I also work with kids, and it's a great opportunity to get them involved in that as well, in a place that it's as serious as you want it to be. It can be you're trying to run the fastest time, or it can be, I've never done a race before, so this is like kind of, it's not really a race, but it might feel a bit like one, so you can kind of use it as you want to, I suppose. I think that's really unique. And I love that, like, when I went back to Scotland, I was like, cool, I'm going to go and do the parkrun in Edinburgh, and I'm going to do the parkrun in Dunbar. And when I went to go to Orange to visit my in-laws, I do the parkrun in Orange. And I think it's awesome because straight away, you know, you're going to chat to people and you're going to feel included in something. And like, I like to cheer on people at the end, and I get really overexcited at the kids running. You know, I did park runs when I was pregnant, and I did them with my daughter when she was a baby in the pram, and the whole time, like, each one is just as important as the next one. It doesn't really matter what your goal is. It just matters that you're there.
Yeah, and I suppose with the exception of what the world's experiencing at the moment, it's there every week, and one day we'll be there every week. Yeah. So you can always go back and try it a different way, try it somewhere else. And in those parkruns you have been to, do you have any highlights? Favorite courses?
I really like, my favorite course I've ever done was the one in Cramond in Edinburgh. And it goes out along the Firth of Forth, and it's just this big, wide path right along the waterfront, and it's flat as a tack and dead straight, and it's got a nice big wide U-turn and back. And it's just like, I would love to go there and try to run really fast on that course. I have run on it, but I think my little one was only about 7 or 8 months. So I wasn't quite fit. I think I ran around about 16 or something like that, which was good, but I'd love to give that a really good shot. And actually my my younger sister messaged me yesterday and told me that she thinks that I should do that. She said, I think you should come to Scotland as soon as you can, and I think you should run that course again, because it would be great for a fast time. And also it was a really busy park run, which I know isn't a thing now, but it was cool that there were so many people. And the guy who was the race director the day that I was there was absolutely fantastic. He was like a comedian. He put on this little show and made us all laugh at the start line. It was brilliant.
Oh,
so
perfect.
that would be my standout one. Yeah, that was a really cool one.
Yeah. Oh, look, it sounds lovely, and that sounds like a plan. You'll have to give that a shot when it's available. I mean, this is a question that we'd love to understand your thoughts on. Really, if money or COVID were no object, which parkrun globally would you like to run out?
Honestly, right now, I would just want to do that one I said, because it's close to all my family and I miss them a lot. So yeah, I'd have to say that it would be that same one for that reason. And you know, if I had just been into my family and missing them wasn't a thing, I suppose I'd probably look up how exotic I can get with parkrun, look at somewhere that I haven't been before. But I don't actually know all the places where parkrun is, so I'd have to do some research.
Right. And I suppose with you moving to Orange, we'll see you at the Orange Parkrun and maybe some of the neighbouring parkruns over the coming years?
Well, I've done Orange Parkrun, and I will definitely be doing it again. I think it's probably where I'll spend most of my Saturday mornings, because I'm hoping I'll get to meet some other running buddies or just buddies full stop. So that's what I'll be doing most Saturday. And I hadn't thought about neighbouring parkruns actually, but that's a good idea. I'll have to look at what other ones are close, because the Orange course is not a particularly nice course, because I don't like hills and it's quite hilly.
Yeah. Though I think you'll find some variety. It might be a bit of a drive, but a bit of variety at least.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. I'll have to check that out.
Look, we know it's been a whirlwind week for you, especially with the move and with the family. So, look, thank you very much, Lauren, for sharing your experience with us, sharing, obviously, what was a magnificent effort and achievement, but also, clearly your love of athletics, coaching the community, and obviously, as a parkrun volunteer too. It's nice to have someone like you in the parkrun world. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I hope I managed to articulate well enough how much it meant to me to be a part of that on Saturday, and to have such an amazing spirit around. And I'm hoping, I'm not sure exactly what time our removal truck is coming on Saturday, but I've messaged my local parkrun to ask if I could help and volunteer with them, but I'm just waiting to find out what spots they have left and what time my removal truck comes at. But I think it's really cool that you can be running it one week and then the next week you can be giving something back. It's a pretty nice.
Look, it's wonderful. It gives back a lot, and there's obviously so many people that do give back.
I hope to chat to you again somewhere along the way.
Absolutely. No, we'll have to catch up. And look, when you are finally into hill running, please come on down to Shell Harbour Parkrun on the south coast. We'd love to have you too.
Okay.
There we are.
I'll put it on my list.
No, good.
Okay.
But in the meantime, all the
good.
best to you. It's Matt, isn't it, and Ruby, and
Yes, that's right.
Good luck with the move.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Cheers.
This is the Informant. These are unofficial stats. They may differ from the stats you read elsewhere. They are only current at the time they are collected, with a 100% chance of an error from time to time. This week, they exclude Cape Pembroke Lighthouse, which to date has not published results. There were no event launches worldwide this week. Therefore, we remain on 432 current events. 32 in New Zealand and 400 in Australia, with 9 of those being closed events in prisons. 435 events ran worldwide. We had 404 events run in Australia and New Zealand, which is up from 393 last week. The remainder are still on hold due to COVID fears, maintenance on course, and a bit of deja vu with Cullen being cancelled due to high fire danger. We had 54,665 runners this week, which is up approximately 2,500 on last week's record. Average attendance was 135, a slight increase on last week's 132. We had 6,765 PBs, 263 people reached their 50 milestone, 137 reached their 100 milestone, which are all post-COVID bests. 3,211 first-timers took part, and 16 people reached their 250 milestone. It has been a huge week for new statespeople. For the ACT, we have 9. Rachel Horton, Catherine Santasuso, Sharon Ringland, Nina Myers, Erin Garty, Nicole Galliner, Charlotte Harper, Veronica Murtagh, and Daniel Zhu. Noel Lockwood, Melanie Hardwick, Charlie Marrington in the NT, Michael Arnott, Chantel Hosking, Rihanna Wick Gamble, Cheryl Smith, Melissa Ellis, Parth Bomacanti, Irene Bomacanti, Suzanne Arnott in Victoria, Paul Firth in WA, and Chris Fraser in New South Wales, who also joins Emma Zammit and Amanda Hardy in claiming concurrent statesman status in 3 states and territories. Over to our most Aussie New Zealand events list, the biggest mover of the week is Bruce Purdy, who moved up 8 spots to be ranked 139th after running his 81st different event at Warringal Parklands. Moving up the list to the top 20, Neil Barnett has a seemingly unassailable lead on 291 unique events. However, Tony Jennings jumped 1 spot to be 14th after running Kelvin Grove. That puts him level with Kathleen Wallington on 134 events. This has been The Informant, and my spreadsheet is bigger than yours.
And another great report this week from our informant. Great to hear all the latest stats. And we're up to 87 parkruns now in Victoria, Ollie, and I noticed we are fast approaching New South Wales in number of events. I think you've got, 93 now?
I'm not going to put, I suppose, an informant level stamp on that particular statistic, but I think you're right, and that's pretty close.
Yeah, so we're only 6 behind you, and I've got a feeling that Victoria's got a lot of new events on the horizon. I'm not trying to make it competitive. Wouldn't want to do that at all.
But at least, I suppose, if I'm investing in just representing the New Zealand, there we go. There's
New Zealand.
There's my secret allegiance. No, if I can invest in representing the New South Wales events, then at least there's maybe a stat I can compete with you on, Mel. Let's bring it on. I think we have a few more New South Wales events on the near horizon now that we're seeing a bit more momentum with some of these events.
Can you just get a few more, southern New South Wales? Because my Nendy at the moment...
I know. Tell me about it.
My Nendy is New South Wales. I just need that border open so that I can get across to reach some of the parkruns that I would like to complete.
Oh, we're getting competitive now. Now you've wrapped up all the Victorian events.
It's not a race.
No, just for statesmanship. So that would mean, which events would you be aiming for, Mel? Are these 2021 goals, or are these just, they're nearer than that?
Every time I look at the tourist tool, it tells me that my Nendy is Jindabyne. However, the tourist tool goes as the crow flies. It does not take into consideration that there is a massive mountain range in the way that I have to literally go around to get to Jindabyne. So
details.
Jindabyne sits there taunting me. One day soon I will get there. But yeah, I am yet to. And the other ones that it keeps telling me are my Nendies are in Tasmania, of course, not taking into consideration that, I have to swim across the Bass Strait to get to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can fly, you can sail, but clearly that's still a logistical challenge.
To be honest, it's a little bit easier for me if I just jump in my car.
Yes.
Other than Palm, I don't have any big trips planned, but I am a fan of the last minute adventure where I just jump in my car and take off somewhere. But do you have plans for this weekend?
This weekend, I'll be at Shell Harbour.
And what's happening at Shell Harbour this week, Ollie?
Look, more parkrun goodness. We'll have another one of our new run directors taking the stand. So I'm looking forward to supporting them and just enjoying the morning. I've got some weekends of travelling coming up in the not too distant future. So I'm enjoying as much Shell Harbour as I can possibly get in the meantime.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. So the weekends that you've got planned, would they be family holidays? That might include parkrun adventures?
That's certainly part of the plan. Now, I don't know whether I'll make it to a new event on one of those at this stage, but yeah, we're making plans. And, of course, looking forward to Palm.
Excellent.
What about you, Mel? Not Jindabyne, I take it?
The adventure in me has, what do you call it? What's the saying? The fires are lit. I want to go somewhere. I want a new event. To be honest, I'm looking to get an event. I'm looking at an interstate border crossing and a 6-hour drive. So these are the issues that I face. And I'm kind of scheming. Can I do the 6.5-hour drive to Meningie on the weekend or not?
Well, a bit of suspense there. We'll have to see.
Yes, I'll leave you hanging. Cliffhanger.
Tune in next week and we'll get to hear the follow-on episode and work out whether you made it or not.
Oh, look, and you know what I really should do? I just really should go to my local and show my face.
Do we recalibrate? Do you go Wilson? Do you look at some other index that you're looking to boost in the meantime?
Yeah, there's so many things to consider.
It's a bit like some of the listeners may have seen up at Tambourine Mountain, a fellow Shell Harbour parkrunner making a different event out of a parkrun. So there's always that option as well.
Oh, was that the marathon?
That was Rick up there.
Tell us a bit more about that, Ollie.
For anyone that hasn't seen that online, obviously jump on, have a look. Rick is one of our Shell Harbour parkrunners who's been, I think he's jumped feet first as well, back into parkrun since its unpause in New South Wales and in Queensland now, it seems. And Rick has a fantastic record when it comes to marathon running. The gentleman runs parkruns like he runs marathons and marathons like he runs parkruns. So it was fantastic to see the tribute given to Rick for running his 300th marathon recently and then to run a quasi-marathon on the morning of parkrun, with special thanks to Bruce, the director, to allow Rick to cross and to finish his marathon with a very special number, almost a very special finish token as well. I think he just missed 43 by 1.
So what did he actually do? So he was in the middle of running a marathon and he incorporated that with a parkrun.
That's right, to finish up the marathon. I think whether or not it was intentional he'd be on the start line for that last 5Ks of the marathon, he wasn't as it panned out. But well done to Rick for recovering and completing, I think, what was 7.5 Ks in that parkrun time to finish up at the parkrun.
So it was multiple laps of the parkrun.
With a bit before, yeah. I think they were fairly creative with the course, but then obviously incorporating the parkrun course afterwards.
Have you done Tambourine Mountain?
I have not. Have you?
No, I haven't done a Queensland event yet. I'm hanging out for my impending trip in April, when I look up for Palm, to get hopefully 2 Queensland events under my belt. But at this stage, yes, I am, when it comes to Peel Club, I am missing a few states and territories. I have not done a West Australian event yet. I have not been to the Northern Territory. And I have not done Queensland. What about you, Ollie? How many states and territories have you got up your sleeve?
In my back pocket.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. I still have a number to go. I have completed events in New South Wales, ACT, Queensland, Victoria, and South Australia.
Have you been to Tassie? Have you done one in Tassie?
Yeah, shamefully I have not. I grew up in Tasmania, so it's eating away at me that I haven't been to Tassie. So Tassie will be happening this year. It's just a question as to when and how often.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're sitting about the same, aren't we, other than I've done Tassie?
Oh.
I've got a few events in Tassie.
Yes.
Up my sleeve.
Yeah.
4, she says as she clicks her spreadsheet.
And which 4 are they again, Mel?
I have done Geeveston, Railton, Devonport and Cape Reed.
Ah, okay. So aside from Geeveston, obviously there's a northern lean there. So
yes, but do hope to get back there again soon, possibly in February. I have a friend that lives in Tassie, so she's got a birthday coming up I've been invited to. So if I can fly over for a night or two and get a park run and a birthday party and get back in time for juniors on Sunday, I'll be a very happy girl.
How about that? Oh, that sounds like a very good weekend plan. You're sport for choice, Mel.
It's quite surreal, isn't it? Like, we have to stop and remind ourselves the rest of the world is still really battling this pandemic. It's quite a strange situation we find ourselves here in Australia. We've all but almost eradicated the virus. We're still getting cases in hotel quarantine, but we're so fortunate there isn't any current community transmission, and we're pretty much, apart from a few issues with borders, we're pretty much business as usual. So we have to keep reminding ourselves that our friends overseas are still battling a lot of hardship with the virus, and their lives are still far from normal, and our thoughts go to them. And yes, we have to not get too carried away with our own situation and our own good fortune.
Thank you to everyone who is listening, who is in that situation, and is hopefully enjoying some of the parkrun chat and some of the fact that we have a degree of parkrun normalcy here. It's obviously a very delicate balance, and we're really fortunate to be in the situation that we are. And as you say, really mindful that so many aren't. We look forward to everyone getting to share that parkrun normalcy, that freedom again. It will come.
Yes, and if you can listen to us and forget the troubles for a while and join us in enjoying the parkrun stories, we just hope we can bring you a little bit of parkrun fun to your week.
And if you've got some parkrun fun or not parkrun fun as well, we'd love to share it too.
Is that a call out? Drop us a line.
Always drop us a line. We'd love to hear.
Do you think we're done again for another week, Ollie? Another jam-packed podcast full of records and adventures?
It's all serving as inspiration for me. It'll get me across the line before long. But I think you're right. I think that's been another great week. Thank you to all of our roving reports, and obviously to Lauren. And thank you, Mel.
No worries. We shall see you next week.